Support for SportsPage is provided by the University Store at the Crossing. The University Store at the Crossing is the official headquarters for Mules and Jenny's emblem clothing, gifts, and UCM memorabilia. Books, office supplies, art supplies, and more are available at the University Store located on the lower level of the Elliott Union on the UCM campus in Warrensburg. And promotional support for SportsPage is provided by 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of the University of Central Missouri Athletics.
Tonight on SportsPage, we'll recap Mules football as the team won big over Northeastern State.
Asia Garrison and Cordell Ballard bring us sights and sounds from homecoming.
And we'll sit down with football defensive coordinator Matt Jeter in our Coach's Corner. We have all that and more on this week's edition of the UCM Sports Page. Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of the University of Central Missouri Sports Page. I'm Daniel Barnett.
And I'm Kira Mackey. We're going to start tonight's broadcast with an update from the Mules football team.
Offense, defense, and special teams all were clicking for the Mules Saturday as they played host to Northeastern State out of Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Mules run through the gauntlet with all the area bands in town for homecoming playing the fight song. If that doesn't get you fired up, nothing will. Mules defense, they're going to let NSU quarterback know he is in for a long day. Josh Powell collecting his 4th sack of the season. On UCM's first possession, Garrett Fugate, he's going to run the option to perfection. Here's the pitch to Markel Smith. He's going to take that 3 yards for the score, 7-0 Mules. Defense back on the field for NSU's next try. Montez Lattimore, he's going to jump the coverage, steps in front of the pass. He's fired up. We're going the other way. Mules football would end up with 4 interceptions in the game. And then on offense, check out this big run by Rodney Smith. The junior transfer finished the day with 47 yards rushing and a team-high 5 receptions. That run sets up Billy Greco's 37-yard field goal. It's 10-0 Mules. NSU would cut the gap down to 10-7 on a 39-yard touchdown pass, but then the Riverhawks forget to cover that guy. That's Ian Tolson. Turns out he's pretty good. Might want to put a man on him. It's 17-7. Then the Mules coaching staff, they're going to go for the jugular. Perfect execution of the onside kick by Peter Smith just before the end of the first quarter. Clayton Cooper recovers, and the Mules are back in business. We're going to flip sides now for the second quarter. Mules still with possession. Fugate's going to find Markel Smith out of the backfield for a 31-yard touchdown. It's now 24-7 Mules, still in the second quarter. Now Northeastern State, they couldn't get anything going. Time for them to punt. Turns out that's not going to work out too well either. Here's Jalen Zachary. He's going to take it at the 21, start up the middle, bounce it out right, and then cuts it all the way back across the field, getting a great block from Travion Vaughn. Jay-Z's in the end zone. Mules running away with it. Third quarter now. We got Peter Smith back on to punt. Nobody home, though, on the right side, so the former rugby player says, okay, I'll take this myself. First down, Mules. They go on to score again to make it 41-10. Mules tack on 2 more scores on their way to a 54-10 win. UCM's defense held Northeastern State to just 218 yards of total offense and only 55 on the ground. Mules, meanwhile, racked up 306 yards on the ground and 301 through the air. Talk about balance.
It's always great to see a win on homecoming, especially with all the alumni and all the fans, everybody out there. Asia Garrison had the chance to visit with some of the folks in town this week for this week's edition of Sports Page Hits the Streets.
Welcome back to this week's edition of UCM Sports Page Hits the Streets. I'm Asia Garrison, and I'm here at Walton Stadium Kennedy Field for homecoming week. As you see, we have the marching band, we have everyone standing behind us, and it's going to be a great day. So keep tuning in to see what we have in store for you. Hello, I'm standing here with Michelle at the Mule Train. Michelle, can you please explain to us what the Mule Train is?
Sure, this tailgate is just every football pregame, our Mule Train donors, so all the donors to athletics. We welcome them, and we have a tailgate prior to every home football game just to get everyone fired up, and our sponsors for the game cater the meal, so it's a nice way for our sponsors that give back to our donors, so it's a fun tailgate.
Awesome. How long have you guys been doing this?
Oh gosh, as long as I've been here. So this is just a tradition that's been here. We were north of the stadium Now we're down here, and we like it just being west of the stadium.
Yeah!
Who are you here for?
UCM!
Do you have a sibling that goes here? You just here to support the school?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to be a cheerleader?
Yeah!
Can we see a little cheer? Can you do a little cheer for us?
We are Central! We are Central! We are Central!
I'm standing here with Brenna. Brenna, you're an alumni. When did you graduate?
I graduated in 2012.
Okay, so what brings you back? Is it just homecoming? Are you here to see someone?
I'm here for my sorority because one of our alumni, or one of our active members, was actually in the top 5, so I'm really excited to see her.
Go Mules! I'm standing here with Hannah. Hannah, tell us how you're feeling on this homecoming today.
I'm really excited for the game. I think that we stand a really good chance of winning, and it'll be a really fun game to watch.
Now, Hannah, is this your first homecoming here at UCM?
Nope, it's actually my 3rd, and so far my best.
Okay, Hannah, now you're part of the band or you're part of the music or something like that, correct?
Yes, I'm the technology coordinator for the music band stuff, so basically I do sound reinforcement for them.
All right, Hannah, can we get a Go Mules from you?
Go Mules!
Standing here with our SGA president, David. Now, let us know how you're feeling about homecoming today.
You know, it's a great time for alumni to come back, a great time to enjoy the game. The UCM Mules are going to win today. It's going to be a fun time.
Once again, I'm Asia Garrison, and you've been tuned into UCM Sports Page. Make sure you tune in next week to see what else we have in store for you.
While the Mules were celebrating at home, Jennies volleyball was on the road. The Jennies had a busy weekend as they took on Fort Hays State and Nebraska Kearney. The Jennies defeated Fort Hays 3-0 Friday night. The 32-point first set was the Jennies' most points in a set win since October 12, 2007. Back then, sets were still played to 30 points. The match saw 24 ties and 9 lead changes. Kylie Holland was able to put the Gens up 31-30 with a kill. Casey Holland then received her first service ace of the season to secure Game 1 for the Jennies. The Jennies fell short 3-2 on Saturday night to Nebraska Kearney. Senior Carly Soika entered the night needing just 9 kills to become the 10th Jenny in UCM history to reach 1,500 career kills. Soika was able to reach that milestone in the second set. 5 Jennies recorded double-digit kills, and Courtney Thompson led the offensive attack with a career-high 63 assists.
We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. There's lots more Mules and Jennies action to talk about.
You're watching the UCM Sports Page on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS, and the UCM Media Network.
I really do enjoy volunteering. I volunteer for a number of organizations that include a museum, which is in my community, and driver safety classes aimed at senior citizens. I like to think that I have made a difference, and I think that's enough. I don't need to be patted on the back. Some of the values that I have now came to me from PBS. I really enjoy the documentaries from Ken Burns. We don't change the television station when those things are on. I've included my PBS station in my future plans. It's not a big gift, but something that will help them.
Consider including KMOS in your plans. For more information, call 1-800-753-3436.
You do not have to be rich to give a planned gift. Every little bit helps. If we can do a whole lot of little bits, then we've done a great service.
I choose excitement.
I choose to make a difference.
I choose uncommon opportunities.
I choose Red to experience learning to a greater degree.
Choose Red. Choose the University of Central Missouri.
Welcome back to Sports Page. Daniel, Jennies had another successful weekend. Why don't you tell us about it?
I will. Jenny Soccer got back into the win column with a quality pair of wins as they prepare for the MIAA tournament. Number 10 Jenny Soccer team earned its 10th shutout of the season in a 3-0 victory over Missouri Western on Friday. The Jennies would score the first goal of the game in the 17th minute. Nicole Pond went back to basics as she crashed to the back post to beat the goalkeeper and tap the ball into the net. The goal was her first of the year. Bailey Edwards is going to score the second goal for the Jennies in the 47th minute on yet another good back post run. Edwards takes this pass from Jada Scott and eventually pokes it into the back of the net. That goal was also Edwards' first of the season. UCM's final goal is going to come in the 55th minute. This time it's Jada Scott. She's going to keep it herself as she splits the defense and rips a shot into the nylon. The goal gives Scott 8 on the year. She's been an incredible catalyst since coming back from injury. Jennies are going to follow up that performance with yet another shutout, this time against conference rival Northwest Missouri State. Jennies got things started in the 17th minute when Bailey Edwards found Megan Woolley with a through ball. Woolley pushed the ball past the keeper, tucked it into the corner. Goal is Woolley's 9th of the season. Second goal in this one comes from Abby Rhodes in the 48th minute. Rhodes drives down the field, gives a little give and go action with Jada Scott. Scott lays it down perfectly as Rhodes hits it in stride, put the Jennies up 2-0. Third and final goal comes from who else? Julie Ireland in the 69th minute. Ireland's going to beat two defenders, then fires the ball into the bottom right corner of the net for her 11th goal of the season. With that goal, Ireland takes sole possession of 4th place in program history with 34 goals. The win improves UCM's record to 14-2 and 7-2 in the MIAA. Sunday was also senior day for the Jennies. The Jennies recognized 4 seniors for their efforts with the program: forward Julie Ireland, forward Claire Richards, midfielder Nicole Pond, and student assistant Amy Stewart. Great stuff there from the Jennies.
The Mules and Jennies golf teams ended their fall schedule this past weekend, both on a high note. The Mules golf team claimed the team title at the Arkansas Tech Payne Stewart Invitational at Branson Hills Golf Club. The Mules shot rounds of 277 and 296 to finish at 3 under par and claim a 23-shot win in the 36-hole tournament. Teddy Jones had a great tournament as he claimed the individual title for the Mules with a 2-round total of 4 under par. Jennies golf team traveled to the Illinois Springfield Island getaway at the Rio Mar Country Club Ocean Course in Rio Grande, Puerto Rico. There, the Jennies improved by 9 strokes from the first to second rounds. They shot a 328 to finish in 10th place. Congratulations to the Mules and Jennies on their fall seasons. We look forward to the spring.
As usual, Mules and Jennies will be very busy next week. Let's take a look at the upcoming UCM athletics schedule.
Jennies volleyball is home for a pair of critical conference matches this weekend. The Jennies will face MIAA leading Central Oklahoma Friday night at 6. They then will take on 1-21 Pittsburgh State Gorillas Saturday afternoon at 4. Central Oklahoma handed the Jennies their first conference loss of the season back on September 25th in Edmond. UCM then needed 5 sets to defeat Pittsburgh State the next day in Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Jennies soccer is on the road this weekend. The Jennies will be in St. Charles Friday night to take on Lindenwood. The Lady Lions are 5-7-4 overall, 3-4-2 in the MIAA. UCM putting a 7-0 beating on the Lady Lions when they met on September 18th in Warrensburg. The Jennies closed out the regular season Sunday at Missouri Western in St. Joseph. The Jennies beat the Lady Griffins 3-0 last Friday at South Rack. UCM will then wait to see who they play, opening round of the MIAA tournament.
Mules football will be in search of its 6th consecutive win. The Mules travel to St. Charles, Missouri to tangle with the Lindenwood Lions Saturday at 1:30. A win and UCM playoff hopes are still alive. The Mules have won all 4 meetings against Lindenwood by an average score of 44-28. That's your Mules and Jennies schedule for the next week. Keep up with all scores, stats, and news at UCMathletics.com.
Jennies soccer is currently tied for first place with Northeastern State. Both are 7-2 in the MIAA. The Jennies will try to maintain their pace with strong showings at Lindenwood and Missouri Western. Both of those teams are fighting to get above 500.
Jennies volleyball is 5th in the MIAA with a record of 8-3. They also have a very important matchup with first place Central Oklahoma, which can help them climb the ladder in the conference.
UCM's 5-game win streak has the Mules in a playoff hunt. They are 3rd in the MIAA after a dominant performance against Northeastern State on homecoming. That's a look at Mules and Jenny's athletics last week and in the week ahead. When we return, Jason Ketz will have our news and notes.
Stay with us. You're watching the UCM Sports Page on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS, and the UCM Media Network.
My granddaughter is named June Elizabeth, but I call her Junebug. My hope is to teach her about kindness and about the love of animals and nature. I want Junebug to have the same opportunities I had by watching PBS. My husband and I feel so strongly about our PBS station that we've included them in our estate plan.
Call 1-800-753-3436.
PBS is part of our values, and we want to pass it on to the next generation.
Look around you. 1 in 4 kids in the U.S. faces hunger. It's not always easy to see the signs, but in this land of plenty, there are kids that don't know where they will get their next meal. Join Share Our Strength in Food Network and take the pledge to end childhood hunger here in America by 2015. Learn how at NoKidHungry.org. Their next meal could come from you.
I choose to be a champion.
I choose to be inspired.
I choose the perfect fit.
I choose Red to experience learning to a greater degree.
Choose Red. Choose the University of Central Missouri.
There's a lot of news and notes for Mules and Jenny's athletics, so let's get this party started. The Jenny's volleyball team dropped to number 15 in the latest national poll this week after going 1-1. With a win over Fort Hays and a heartbreaking loss to Nebraska Kearney, UCM dropped 3 spots during the week. The MIAA has 3 other teams in the poll, including Washburn, Central Oklahoma, and Nebraska Kearney. Mules football jumped into the latest American Football Coaches Association poll. They are now ranked number 25. Mules are the 3rd MIAA team, including number 2 ranked Northwest Missouri State and Emporia State checking in at number 17. Mules also moved up to number 18 in the D2Football.com poll. That's up from number 21 last week. And they also appeared on the first NCAA Central Region poll at number 10. The now 6-2 Mules need to be in the top 7 to advance to the Division II playoff tournament. After their 54-10 win over Northeastern State, Mules sophomore punt returner Jalen Zachary was named the MIAA Special Teams Player of the Week. Zachary returned 2 punts on the day, including a 79-yarder for a touchdown. This is the first of the week. This is the first Player of the Week nod for the Richton Park, Illinois native. Jenny's soccer is now 10th for the 2nd consecutive week in the National Soccer Coaches Poll. The Jennies are 14-2 on the season, 7-2 in conference play. The Jennies are also sitting in 2nd in this week's NCAA Central Regional rankings. Missouri State Mankato is 1st. And finally, some exciting news in Mules baseball. The Mules will begin playing this spring on AstroTurf. That was announced Monday in a press conference at Crane Stadium, Tompkins Field. According to University President Chuck Ambrose and Athletics Director Jerry Hughes, the renovations are thanks to a donation by Houston Astros owner Jim Crane. Crane, a former Mules baseball player and member of the UCM Athletic Hall of Fame. Instead of having natural grass with dirt, the entire field will be resurfaced with AstroTurf, the official of Major League Baseball. Crane first proposed this gift when he visited earlier this month when the Astros were playing the Royals in the ALDS. Mules head coach Kyle Crook says the new surface will really benefit the Mules.
Be what it allows us to do in terms of developing them, and then moving forward, certainly in recruiting, we'll try to recruit players and go pursue players that do factor in on turf even more.
Construction is scheduled to be completed in time for the Mules' first home baseball game of this upcoming season. To read more on these stories, log on to UCMathletics.com. And now it's time for our Coach's Corner segment. As we do every week, we sit down with one of the men and women who helped the Mules and Jennies find great success. This week, I had a chance to visit with Mules football defensive coordinator Matt Jeter to talk about faith, family, and football. Defensive coordinator Matt Jeter is in his 6th season at UCM. A native of Des Moines, Iowa, Jeter grew up with a passion for the game of football.
Just growing up in Des Moines, the game of football actually
changed my life. It kept me out of trouble, kept me off the streets. And I knew at a young age and early in junior high that football is going to be a part of my life.
Jeter eventually earned a scholarship to play at Simpson College. At Simpson, Jeter was a 2-year starter at cornerback and a team captain.
It was a great experience on and off the field. As far as football was concerned, it was one of the great times of my life. Winning back-to-back conferences. I think we lost 2 games in my career at Simpson and went deep in the playoffs and lost to Mount Union in the semifinals. But again, it was that was where the coaching bug caught fire for me. Playing college football for Jim Williams at Simpson College, and I knew that's what I want to do.
Upon graduation, Jeter became an assistant coach at Des Moines North High School, where he also took on the position of youth program director for the local YMCA.
My experience at the YMCA, again, coaching, you want to make an impact with young men and women, and at the YMCA, I was able to do that with the community youth. And that's always been a passion of mine. It still is a passion of mine, and that's something that burns deep in me as far as making I want to make an impact. I want to make an impact in these kids' lives. I don't want them to say, hey, you taught me how to backpedal and how to look at a defense. I want them to say, hey, you taught me about life. You taught me about the ups and downs, and you gave me some tools and stuff that I could take with me when I become a husband, a father, or in the professional world. That's what's important to me as far as that, and that's kind of what I was able to do at the YMCA.
In 2002, Jeter accepted a position on the Drake University coaching staff as a defensive backs coach and recruiting coordinator before coming to UCM in 2010.
That whole thing came to fruition because of Rob Ash. I worked with him at Drake, and he was at Montana State, and Coach Sabota was there with him at Montana State, and that's how the whole lineage came here. It brought me to Central Missouri from my time at Drake.
Since joining the UCM family, Coach Jeter has been involved with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Just last week, he spoke during their Fields of Faith event.
Having an opportunity to speak last week at the Fields of Faith was probably one of the most memorable experiences of my life, and I thought, I was able to touch these guys and talk about winning football games, but I wanted to talk to them about winning in life and how faith and believing in Lord Jesus Christ as my Savior is important to me. And I don't take that lightly, and I want to make it a point that I also live that way. So I think on the football field, I'm very, very energetic. I'm very high-strung, but it's always in a positive, constructive way, and I think the kids can see and feel that from me.
So far this season, the Mules defense ranks 2nd in rushing, 3rd in total yards, and 4th in scoring in the MIAA. But at the end of Coach Jeter's day, it's all about the 3 Fs.
My faith, family, and football is kind of my 3 Fs that I go by, and I don't take that lightly, and I want to be, also when I talked about impacting young men and women, I want to impact them with my faith as well.
When Coach Jeter isn't on the football field or practicing his faith, he is at home with his wife Kimberly and their 2 sons, Jordan and Jaden.
When I'm home with my kids and my family, I'm home. It can't be football. I think you have to have that balance in your life. My kids need me, just as much as some of the guys on this team need me. But when I'm home, I'm all about Jordan, Jaden, and Kimberly as far as, they have me 100%.
For this week's edition of the Coach's Corner, I'm Jason Ketz.
Great stuff there, Jason. Awesome to hear from the man behind the Mules defense. We've got to take one more quick break. When we come back, we'll get a look at the top plays from football, volleyball, and soccer from the last week.
You're watching the UCM Sports Page on KMOS-TV, the UCM Media Network.
PBS has always played a big part in my being a good citizen. When the Watergate hearings began, PBS was thoughtful enough to rear them at night. So it was a great service to all of us who were busy with children during the day. Frontline, the News Hour. I really love Washington Week. I trust the news programs on PBS. I decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station.
Your donation of support makes programming on KMOS possible. For more information, call 1-800-753-3436.
My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.
I choose red to blaze my own trail.
I choose red to be with students and faculty who make me feel at home.
I wanted a university with a big picture perspective. That's why I chose red.
Why do you choose red?
Choose red.
Choose red. Choose the University of Central Missouri. Choose red.
One.
Did I do that? Whoops, that allowed.
Mules football, Jenny's volleyball, and Jenny's soccer were all in action this week, as always. We saw some great action, and it's coming at you right now.
Number 5, check this out. Garrett Fugate to Markel Smith on 4th and 5. He's going to slip the tackle, races towards the end zone for a 36-yard touchdown. Mules get the win.
Number 4, Julie Ireland with fancy footwork as she weaves through 2 defenders and sneaks the shot in the corner of the goal. Jenny's win 3-0.
Number 3, Jenny's volleyball setting up Carly Soika to get her 1,500th kill of her career. Soika finished the day with 16 kills, 17 digs, and 4 blocks.
Number 2, back with Jenny's soccer, Jada Scott cuts through 2 defenders and finishes with the left foot as the Jennies destroyed the Griffins 3-0.
And number 1 this week goes to Mules football as Jalen Zachary takes this punt at the 21, returns it 79 yards to put the cherry on top in the blowout homecoming game versus Northeastern State. Looked like how every defender had a chance at him, but then he just makes him bite the dust. Mules get another win.
We hope to see you next week. We'll have more exciting features as well as all the scores and highlights from around UCM athletics. Remember, you can watch us every Thursday night at 9:30 on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS, and you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm Kira Mackey.
I'm Jason Katz.
And I'm Daniel Barnett. We hope you've enjoyed it. You've been watching Sports Page on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS, and the UCM Media Network. See you next week.
Support for Sports Page is provided by the University Store at the Crossing. The University Store at the Crossing is the official headquarters for Mules and Jenny's emblem clothing, gifts, and UCM memorabilia. Books, office supplies, art supplies, and more are available at the University Store located on the lower level of the Elliott Union on the UCM campus in Warrensburg. And promotional support for Sports Page is provided by 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of the University of Central Missouri Athletics.